3, 2, and 1.
What? I asked you and you act like that was all you had. Maybe that'll spark something. Welcome to Learn, Love, and Reflect. I'm Jackie Jones.
And I'm pissed off, Jones.
Why are you pissed off? You want more time to think of stuff?
No.
Okay, so
But I'm like, what is that?
those are my thens and this is my nows.
Now? That's bananas.
I just want you to continue with it.
Oh, whatever.
Would you like to redo the introduction?
Maybe.
I'll do it. So, can you? Oh, never mind. I got it myself. So, today our episode is going to be on what we needed then compared to what we needed now in our relationship. And as you can tell, we did not go over these with each other because he was clearly surprised by my content.
I am writing
Go ahead and write.
a letter.
It's going to be clearly honest and transparent. So, we do have a list, so we're going over the list. You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. Well, my first was I needed truth no matter the situation. So
Yes, I was a liar.
okay. Then we can end it at that because we already had that conversation.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
needed you to be truthful no matter what the situation was.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me because at that time that's all I knew. That's all I knew how to do was lie. And was it good? No, but it was just something that was just embedded at the time because of my past and how I was. I don't want to say how I was raised, but just kind of the environment I was in. I always thought that's what I was supposed to do when it came to certain things.
Right. I can understand it and I can see that, like being with, if you was like a player or whatever.
Yes,
so then within that type of
definitely was.
situation,
Yep.
then you would definitely have to
Yep.
lie.
Yep.
And
A
then,
lot.
yeah, you would
Yeah.
have to lie a lot.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I can understand that.
It was, and then too, but what people fail to realize, and I'm speaking of men, women, it don't matter, but what people fail to realize, man, when you lying like that to keep a lie going or to keep being a player or cheating or whatever like that, man, that stuff is exhausting. Exhausting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's just one of those things where I definitely knew, but after a while, like it was like I wanted you to catch me in a lie or something because I was starting to get tired, but your mental tells you to keep going, and you really mentally and physically tired of it, but you just ain't. It is like I hate to use the phrase like I was so good at it I felt, that
You weren't good at it though.
I'm just saying.
Because I could tell them.
Well,
now,
no.
I know when you lying. Like,
but you
know it now.
But you was a detective.
Yes, I had to be from my previous relationship to learn how to be a detective. And so then, since I was within that years of training, now I'm a professional detective. You can't just put it on me without me being like, I'll figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
So, you want to go towards next?
No, you just go down your list.
No,
I don't want, because just go down your list.
Okay.
And we'll just ride with it.
Okay. So my next one was less people pleasing, and so Anthony was, and still is, like more of a people pleaser than I will ever be. He wants to make sure people have whatever they need or what they want or what he feels like he can give them, and in a lot of it brought about letdowns, because especially in the beginning of the relationship, because we didn't have means to do a lot of the things that you would tell people that you would do for them. And I'll be like, that's not even gonna happen. And I would be noticing, like, knowing that it's not gonna happen, and then you would talk about it as if like this is really going down, and I'll be like, no.
Well,
and then people would come to me, the kids. Anthony said that he was, and not our kids, but even other kids that you would make promise to. Anthony said he was gonna do this, and then I would have to like back you up on something that I knew wasn't a possibility. And it was just your heart wasn't matching up with the reality.
Yeah. I don't really. I don't know. I don't think to me that I was trying to people please. I think it was just more so me trying to be a giver, because that's who I am. I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I do. I know that
means to, but I'm saying, but if there was no means to do it, then in my opinion, it was as like, why even say that? For example, how many times did Mia come to you asking about that hat that you promised her early on, and she always, bro, where's my hat? Bro, you gonna give me my hat? And eventually, and then she would ask me, and I'd be like, you gotta ask Anthony. And eventually, I guess she just learned, like, I'm not getting that hat. But at the time when you approached her with the thing, it was as if it was a certain thing that was happening.
She approached me. I didn't, whatever. But okay.
Right, but I see what you mean. But I would let a nigga down, and you would not. And I'd be like, nope, I ain't got the money to do it. It's not happening. And you'd be like, yeah, I got you that hat. And I'll be like, good luck on that.
Yeah.
But that kind of weighs us out too, because when you're more giving and I'm not, then I have to pull in. Well, I've learned over the 10 years to like be more like you, because it's a more likable image. But I also, because I'm not like that 100%, then it kind of saves us from like bad situations, being in bad positions, than making promises that can't be kept.
I would say then, not so much now with that. Like,
I think you learned from it, from me bringing it up all the time. Like, you can't do that. You can't tell the kids you're gonna do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're more aware of it now, and more cautious of your words or your promises.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're definitely way better than that. Or now you're more like, let me talk to my wife about it first. Yeah. Can we afford to do this? Can we donate this to this? But before, you'll just be like,
yeah, I got
we're doing it. I got you. And I'll be like, no, we don't have it to do that.
Yeah.
And then that would make you sad. And I'll be like, dang, like, but what am I supposed to do?
And it always, regardless, it always also like brought a different mentality. Like I've always been a hustler, right? I've always been a go-getter. Let's just say a go-getter, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to help people, which I still strive to do so. But I get where you're coming from.
Okay. Next, I got consider me. So I felt like you would make decisions that didn't consider me. And only one thing when I wrote that, only one thing I can think about is when you bought that chain. And we was in a really bad situation. And he put a chain on the credit card bill that we was trying to already pay off my wedding ring and his ring. We were already trying to pay that off when we first got married. And then all of a sudden he come in here with this massive chain, and I'm like, I know you just didn't put that on that credit card bill. Yes he did, and because it's his money and he could do what he wanted to do when he wanted it, and he was gonna get it.
Selfish.
And I was like, poof. There wasn't nothing I could do because it was already purchased, but I was like highly upset because you didn't consider.
But you had to understand though, I don't want to say I was all the way selfish, but that was a selfish act. But I also was in the mode of, man, I work hard too. You know what I'm saying? But not consciously realizing we weren't financially set.
In the position to do that. And I can understand like just wanting something for your hard work.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes it just get like I'm working for nothing.
Yeah.
Right, but there was never like a conversation for that. It was just like
I
seen the bill and in the necklace, and I'm like, got your nerves. Like, yeah, and you did not care what I thought.
I didn't.
Didn't
I
care
did
what I
not.
thought about it.
I did
And
not.
loved his necklace
And somebody stole it.
and lost it now. This year,
Somebody
was that
stole
this
it.
year or late last year?
Late last
Late
year.
last year, lost it, but he wore it every day.
Every day.
Yeah, he loved it.
I
but-
did. And I took
And it
care
looked
of it.
nice. It was a nice chain. I can't even find it at the store. I've looked. I actually looked and asked them
Oh,
about.
wow.
They don't have it in the system of what type of necklace it was that you bought.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna re-get it to you, but next thing is I always thought he was too friendly, way too friendly, and especially with the opposite sex, way too friendly. And I used to be like, and only how I could get him to get it is be like, okay, let me break it down. If I did that, how would you feel? And then he would admit like, oh shoot, like, oh, yeah, that is messed up. Because if I did it, I would choke the crap out of you. And I'd be like, "Nick, that's how I feel. I want to choke the crap out of you."
But the thing, this is another thing too, though. I had 2 good friends. That was it. That were males.
Mhm.
Everybody else, you know, not bragging and not saying that it's cute, but females. Like I didn't hang out or associate with a lot of dudes because a lot of guys always was jealous of me because of my talents or, you know, my abilities to do certain things. So I always distanced myself from guys. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
you told Dorian that like you don't need all those friends. Like you only need a certain number of friends, your boys, and then that's it. You don't need no big crowd.
And this will come up later, but that's why I always wanted to consider you outside of my 2 best friends. Was like you was gonna be my ultimate best friend, just because of certain things that kind of transpired in the past. Like, you know, that's why I wanted to always for us to be the best of friends. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's one of the reasons why.
Okay, but again, you was too friendly.
I'm a people person.
No, because
I'm
if I
not-
did that stuff,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling
yeah,
you,
yeah,
I
now,
know
yeah,
you would try
yeah.
to choke me out.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I couldn't say or do half the stuff that I had to confront you about.
I get it.
So
I get it.
that was a thing. Let's talk more action, which was like, you have like such a big heart to do everything, but or to be everything for your own self, not everything for everybody, but then it's just, it doesn't come to pass. And so I'm still waiting for this Anthony Jones that everybody tells me about, that I haven't yet experienced in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like your past is your past, but your present, which I'm in, like I'm waiting for all of those things that you say that you can do to do. Like all the old stuff, like I know you're not gonna be able to dunk, miss that. No, you had hair, miss that. Like, but like all the other stuff that I'm like, you tell me that you want to do, and I'm like, I'm ready to see you like for real push and do it, because I fully believe that you really, really can. So I'm still waiting for, even though this is a then, it kind of fits into the now, is more action, because you'll be dynamic, and I think everybody freaking knows that.
A lot of that is based upon actually. Was that your last point? I don't know.
It wasn't. Let me see. Go ahead, keep talking.
A lot of that was
just one more.
was based on confidence, fear, and you know, sometimes when certain things aren't happening, you know, a man loses his mojo. You know what I mean? And certain situations in your life can rob you of that. You know, um, do I believe in myself? Heck yeah, of course, no doubt. Um, it's just me stepping out and making sure that it happens. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Sometimes, like I was talking to my cousin, Todd Rise Nutrition, shout out. Um, um, just how sometimes you can get in your own way and mess up the goals. And to be honest, there's no way that we shouldn't. Well, I say we because we're partners in crime forever, but I say that because there's no way I shouldn't be a millionaire or shouldn't be a millionaire by now, you know. And I know certain things transpired. I know I had to, because I think I know it for sure. If God would have gave it to me then, I would have messed up and I probably would have been a more of a horrible person. What?
I was talking about the pen. I'm like, like,
I'm doodling while I'm talking. But yeah, okay, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, sorry about the clicking in the video. I don't know if he's gonna stop or not.
I'm doodling.
Anyways, I think this kind of fits it all around. Be more realistic. How can I put it? Like, in your current position of where you are or where we are. I don't know. I think I come off as a dream killer. I know I've came off as a dream killer to you. I definitely know I've came off as a dream killer. But
and that's the confidence part I'm talking about too, though.
But I think it's because I'm more of the realist position and you're more of the dreamer. And so while you're dreaming, I'm looking at you're here and I'm looking at our reality. But I think that your dream you haven't even taken the steps to meet this dream. So I'm still stuck in the reality.
But again, and this is gonna go into my point, is that while I'm dreaming, you shooting me down, and that's the other part of the confidence thing. You know what I'm saying? And one of my points was speak life. Don't kill it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you kill a man's dream, he loses confidence. He loses the abilities to think he can go out and do. He loses the consistency aspect of what he could be and all that kind of stuff. You know, you have to speak life into your partner, and it's not just for you, it's for me as well. You know what I'm saying? I can't say you have this grand dream and be like, girl, you tripping. I'm gonna support you. But again, that's what makes us different, because I'm more of a supporter, and let's go, let's get it done, let's go. You know, and you more
and
like
I'm gonna analyze it before. I'm like, let's go, and I'm gonna have like all of these points, like we gotta do this. You like, let's go, and I'm like, this makes no sense to me.
You know, I was doing a lot of research, right, on and I hate to say this, but some of it it can be kind of come off as superficial, but I looked at so many different actors and actresses and athletes and this, you know, especially a lot of actors and actresses, they stepped out on faith and just ran with it, whether they was a believer or not, right? They stepped out and jumped on their dream. You know, even when people, maybe a realist in their life, was like, nah, you crazy. You know, now Samuel L. Jackson's a millionaire. Now Jamie Foxx. Now Denzel. Now, like, all these guys and women, you know, are all.
But then did they go out and prove to the world or individuals what they can do out of that adversity?
Yes.
Right?
However, I couldn't just do that. Because I mean, I'm not saying that they didn't have a family. I don't think when I was doing the research, they didn't have a family at the time. I did, and did I want to? I'm not saying that I wanted to just pack up and move to LA and do all that. You know what I'm saying? I do have aspirations of being an actor. However, it's not. I couldn't just, especially at that time, we was struggling. So I could not just jump off the bandwagon and be like, all right, I'm out. I would have lost you and my family. I would have lost. I
Right,
would
but
have
then
lost you.
but then I was also considered the dream killer, because I'm like, we can't afford for you to do whatever you talking about you about to do. I'm not saying it as
Right,
like
right,
blah,
right.
but I'm just saying like we couldn't afford to do that. So now I come off as the dream killer because I'm looking at our reality and you're looking at the dream. And
Yeah,
so
but
I'm the dream killer.
but it's
Not that I was it
I think
wasn't supportive. It was just I'm just like we can't do that.
right. But I
You
think
wasn't supporting us
this is the
because you
thing.
want to just do that.
Yeah, but this is the thing. When I say speak life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, babe, maybe you can't do certain things on a grand scale, but let's scale it back and let's start small. Let's start in the black box theater with your acting and
Well, I didn't. You never
mean,
came to me with.
I-
I didn't
I'm
know
just-
where to even, because that was the only thing that I can think of that I was the dream killer at, is the acting thing in the beginning of the relationship and marriage.
right.
But like, if you knew that there was other avenues, smaller avenues to take, then that would have been like, I know I can't go to out of town, but they got something here local that I'm gonna go ahead and do.
Right.
There wouldn't have been an argument because that wasn't something that was going to affect our budget or anything. That
Right.
was just a step that you was gonna take. Is that the same bee that wanted to come over here?
It's one of the things. Well, when we rekindled, that's the stuff I was doing. And at that time, of course, I didn't have the obligation of you and the boys at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me, and I had Anthony, I had Amari, but they weren't physically living with me.
Right.
So I was able to
He
go
was
to
able to just jump
Colorado
and
to
leave.
do go for a commercial shoot, or go to wherever I was going to try to go for these commercial shoots or acting positions or whatever.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, I just say that just for anybody, um, don't kill a man's dream. Just try to make, like you said, you wanted it to be a reality. However, you know and for me, I would be like, let me do my research, right? And be like, okay, well, if we can't do it on this grand scale, let's scale it back, you know and be supportive in the aspect of it, but also have a reality like, hey, okay, well, I'm supporting you, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you gotta do your part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna, like, I'm just supporting you and you ain't doing what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
I think if you would have came with another option that was a more viable option, because you never came with another option.
Well,
it was always like something that was costly and out of our range.
After that, I shut down.
You did.
And at the time, I was a very stubborn person. When it came to certain things, I became an introvert. And when I became this introvert, when it came to stuff, I had a lot of stuff that was embedded in me. And I will say, this ain't an excuse for it, but a lot of times that's why, like, I kept and I reverted back to lying. I reverted back. Like, I know it may not make sense, but it's one of those things where it was almost like a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you shut down and you're not used to being able to communicate and speak those kind of things, you kind of revert into stuff, or revert back to old and bad habits and this, that, and the third. And I will say, a lot of times I did that. Not saying that it was cute or sexy or whatever you want to call it. That's just what I did. So when people shut down, they revert to bad habits, and that was my bad habit, was just doing dumb stuff, and that was by lying. You know what I'm saying? So always speak life. Always try to encourage your partner. I know that was one of another thing that I had, just kind of being encouragement. you know, sometimes a man needs his ego stroked and say, hey, babe, you did a good job. You need to, you know what I'm saying? And then you did not do a lot of that. You know, it was yeah, you were supposed to bring home that check. You were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? You were supposed to, you know,
Well, I
bring
had
me flat.
like these were things that I expected to happen, and beyond that, there was nothing else. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I expect
It
you
was
to go
like,
to work, I
yeah,
expect you to come home, and I expect
yeah.
you to do that.
And I wasn't looking for a pat on the back as far as bringing the bread home, because that's what a man is supposed to do. You know, the man is the protector, you know, the provider, you know.
Right, but there was no praise or anything attached to that thing, because if you're coming home, coming to work, or and then cleaning up, I thank you, I appreciate that. Even though it's something that was small and minor, like those little
Yeah.
things like that, I've noticed now, just as growing in the marriage, like those things are important.
Yeah.
To make sure that you, like you said, a guy needs his ego stroked.
Yeah.
Because I think we was explaining to another couple, like when you're when a boy is being raised up, like everything he does, like you hyping him up, like, hey, good job at doing this. Hey, you did, you know, you made a shot. Hey, this is happening. You know what I'm saying? So then when he grows up to be an adult, like he still wants that same praise.
Right.
Yeah, he still wants that same praise, which I didn't know and I didn't do, but I know that I've grown and I do that now.
Yes.
So
yes.
So now we're on there now.
Because I told you,
you kind of just jumped in on every one of mine.
Yep.
And so now I just ask that you be just continue to be supportive, because we have started a new thing and we're definitely now learning how to support each other in our learn money management. You can find that on our Facebook group.
For sure.
But learn money management thing. So we have to support each other on that. And we, in the beginning, we had some tips, and we had to like recognize, like, okay, what is the problem, and then how do we resolve it so we can support each other in each other's position in this decision that we made. So just continue to just be supportive, consistent, encouraging. Which I'm not saying that these aren't things that you're doing, okay? I'm just saying things that I need now. Less denial of spoken truths. So, you know, we both do the same thing to each other. If I say something and I'll be like, that's not true. No. And he'll do the same thing and I'll be like, yes, it is, because of X, Y, and Z, because I'm a detective.
Right.
And then just be available. Like, just, if anything, I think the top one would be like being present. So I think that's everything. And then I think also in the next 10 years, all of these will change. Like our desires at, what are we, 40s? So when we're 50 in 10 years, these will be obsolete, and it'll be other things that we desire of each other, right?
For sure. I mean, yeah. And for me, my nouns would be definitely be courage, speak life. You know, one of the best things I think we do now is read and do a prayer every night.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the major things I think we can never do. And continue to be my friend. I know you don't like that part.
Okay.
No, dog. Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I asked this woman to be my best friend, right? And she said, "What?"
I said, no.
I got like, what? Wait a minute. And I say that because my best friend knows everything about me. My best friend loves me. My best friend definitely has to have my back in everything that we do. And you know, it's the ultimate, you know, and she shut me down, and I was like, yo, that's important. Like, you need to, we need to be friends on so many different levels, because my thing is, once you start trying to talk to other people, especially those that don't have validation in some of the things that you may need to talk to them about, because let's be honest, we all have issues. We relationships wise, but the greatest thing about it is communication. And if we can't communicate, if we can't be friends, and if I don't feel comfortable talking to her about certain things, then boom, it's pointless. So that's why I was trying to get her to understand the importance of us being best friends.
Well, when he told me best friends, and I'm like, I want a girlfriend. Like, I don't want to be my best friend. Like, I want a girlfriend now that's on my current 39-year-old Jackie level, that we could actually. Did you just look down my shirt?
Well, you got them things out.
It's not out. Anyways, a 39. So I'm 39, almost 40 years old. Like, I want a friend that, like, a girlfriend that I know that outside of Anthony, like, I have confidence in, and I can go to and talk to and do girly things with. All I have, and I'm not downing my sisters, but all I have is my sisters, and I want a girlfriend. So when you said that to me, I'm just thinking, like, I don't want you to be my friend. Like, I want not a real friend, but I want a friend. And so that was my whole argument. Like, you can't be my friend. Like, I can't do girl stuff with you. Like, I want a friend.
You can do girl stuff with me.
I have, because I ain't got no friends. But that's what I was talking about. But then, ever since that conversation, it's just been things that happen where I'm like, dang, he is my friend. He all I got. Like, I was like, okay, I understand now what you were referring to as you want me to be your friend, because I need you to be my best friend too. But at the time, my mind was really, really on, like, I just wanted, like, a great female friend. It might be too late, like, for a girlfriend like that I'm just gonna be totally trust with all my information, and just to have somebody to talk to and laugh with, go somewhere, just a girl relationship.
Right.
Outside of my sisters, because my sisters, they gonna always be there.
Right.
And it's some things you just can't tell your sister. You can tell a friend.
Right.
But that's probably never gonna happen. So I'm gonna have to live with that. But
and I got a best friend, but he don't know
everything
about,
that I know. Yeah. So and I have learned that it is important, and that I value our friendship, because I have not had as much fun with anybody but you. So I'm like, we're friends, like, we do everything, and it's great. It's no complaint. Like, I love our friendship.
But this is the thing. When I had my previous relationship, and I made this prayer to God. I remember it clear as day. I was in my apartment. I got on my knees and I said, Lord, I need me a real woman. I said, I need a woman that like all the things that I like to do. I want my interests and her interests be alike. If they're not the same, be alike. She likes to go fishing. She likes to go to the zoo. You know what I'm saying? And I received all that in you, so I know that I know you were a true godsend, because that's exactly what I prayed for, and that's why I always put the emphasis on us being friends, because I didn't want to confide in anybody else. Whether it being male or female, I didn't. I couldn't talk to my mom or my sisters. I mean, I could, but
then we don't do that, because when it just goes into a whole nother animal once you start bringing other people into your relationship problem. Unless it's a trustworthy couple that wants to speak life into your marriage, I suggest keep everybody else out of it.
Because again, I've said this for so many years and to so many different people, because if we having an issue, you going to that friend and I go over to this friend or cousin, whoever, they mad at you. We fixed our issues. We loving on each other again, but when they come to the barbecue, they mad.
Still got attitude. Mm-hmm.
Like, girl, I don't even know why you still with him or her, because they did X, Y, Z. No.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, and this ain't no disrespect to nobody, that's why I will never get advice from a single person.
Ever.
And or somebody that's
not in a good marriage. If your marriage is trash, in my opinion, why am I listening to anything you have to say?
Or even a seasoned couple. Like, you know what I'm saying? A couple that got 20, 30 plus years in. That's who I'm going to for advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
we've already chose. We are totally off a subject, but we already chose like our couples of who we would go to if we ever get into a situation where we're like our marriage is going down the drain,
Yes,
like
we
we've
did.
already chosen couples where we believe that if we come to them with our problems, we know that they would be Team Jones, and no,
And they'll tell us the truth no
and be
matter
truthful,
what.
no matter what,
Like,
to
Anthony, your
help our
stuff
marriage.
stink, or Jackie, your stuff
Right.
stink, and y'all need to fix X, Y,
YZ,
Z.
yeah. So we've already made that decision on who that would be. But I don't want to prolong the
Yeah, me
conversation.
neither.
I don't want to prolong it, but that's what we wanted this conversation to be about, the ins and outs. And go ahead and consider talking with your spouse about it, the ins and outs, because clearly Anthony was unaware of some of the things that I was about to bring up today. And I kept asking you, did you want to look at it? No, I'm good. You need to look at it like, whoa.
Again, that's what I think God put up on our hearts, or especially your heart, for our title. Learn, love, and reflect. We definitely learn from each other daily. Like, as you can see, I definitely love your fine self. And we always reflect on it. Even after we get off camera, we talk.
Yeah.
We like, wow, I didn't know that. Or we'll say, well, did you know? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We just reflect on it all.
Right.
You know, so.
And we encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, for sure. But we ain't going to prolong it. Got some business to take care of.
I know in the comments somebody got to mention that click in the video. And how about seeing what what was produced out of it? Trash. But and then I just clicked it, so I'm putting it down. Would you like to do the ending?
No. Please like, subscribe, comment. Go check us out on our money management page as well, man. That has definitely been a blessing to me as well. Just kind of learning the ins and outs of money and life insurance and finance, investments, and all that kind of stuff. So please hit us up. You know, we got the expert, girl, you doing extra. We got the licensed expert over here, man. We doing
got
big
my
things,
license
man.
to sell life insurance. Y'all need anything?
Yeah,
we
hit us up.
doing a lot here on our
yes.
money management page.
Yes. God has truly been awesome. I thank God for our ministry, and I thank God for our bishop, and I thank God for our church family, man. They've been a true blessing in our growth, in our relationship, our marriage, and everything that we've done. So. Continue to support us. We're going to support you. That's one thing we will do, and I'm going to shut up after this. That's one thing we're going to do. We're going to support people that are trying to be entrepreneurs and whatever endeavor that they're embarking upon, man. We're definitely going to support. You know, we're going to show up to your concerts. We're going to show up to your beauty salon. We're going to
wear your t-shirts.
We're going to do whatever everything.
Whatever you want us to put us out here for, you guys.
We got you.
Just contact us through Facebook, and we'll show it up for you.
All right. We love y'all. Peace.
Love you, baby.
We out.